Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a great week. Haven't seen you since last Monday. Had a little family event on Friday night. I threw a note there in the community tab. I appreciate a couple people commented and wished us a nice time. We had a really nice time. Hey, Leland, how are you? Good to see you. See the lights? Welcome to the show. Hello, Lori. Welcome aboard. Hey, Popeye. Cooking dinner. Okay, yeah, enjoy. It's Monday already. Vintage memories. Yes, welcome aboard. Popeye, I can contest. What's the word? I can guarantee you he's a good cook. He made some baked beans that I had the pleasure of digging into, and they were scrump delicious. So Popeye, from now on, when we say he's making dinner, we know that he's making good stuff. Not that I doubted that before, but it is confirmed. Absolutely delicious. Hope everybody had a great week and a nice weekend. To catch up really fast, we had the family event Friday, and then unfortunately I had to go to a wake yesterday. So it's been a busy weekend. Not a lot of time to be home and do eBay activities, unfortunately. But today I kind of got back on the horse, and I did make an adjustment to my promoted listings strategy, which we'll probably get into in a couple of minutes. A really good point came up from one Dawn Wright, who just happens to be here. How you doing, Dawn? Welcome to the show. Hey, Joe. How are you? And Florida Man Jim is here. Hi, Florida Man Jim. Yeah, we're talking about this new, relatively new, I guess, promotion strategy where eBay basically dictates what the going rate is and automatically adjusts your promoted rate to that rate. It's kind of arbitrary. It's what they say is the going rate. So again, not to frown upon anybody's strategies or choices. I'm sure it might work out for some people, but we could discuss that a little bit if you'd like. So anyway, I did wind up ending my existing promoted thing, which I had up for a couple of months, and then I just re-upped a brand new one, and I kind of lowered the numbers a little bit as far as what I'm willing to pay for the promotions. But that's interesting and definitely something we could talk about. Hey, Nova Crow's Nest, how you doing? Welcome. We were talking earlier about the goodness or lack thereof of Chef Boyardee products, putrid food. I'm sure we all agree with that. But again, that's open for if anybody wants to discuss the benefits of Chef Boyardee, go ahead. You'll definitely get shot down, but if you want to talk about it, go ahead. What else is going on? So that was my weekend. Yeah, back on the horse today. Made the tweak. Kind of gets to an actual topic we have, or at least the basis of a topic, which was spring cleaning. Today's the first day of spring. Hi, Victoria. How are you? Welcome to the show. Just hit about an hour or so ago officially the whatever it's called, spring equinox or whatever the term is. So it is springtime. Thank goodness winter is over, although it's freezing still in this area. I'm sure a lot of the country is still freezing. It's supposed to be beautiful later in the week, so we will get to the weather report later on in the show. We're hitting on everything right out of the gate. But yeah, spring cleaning. Just curious if anybody has any approaches they're going to take towards spring cleaning when it comes to their reselling business, and whether that means physically, which is part of my deal for sure. Making some room on shelves, reorganizing things, new inventory methods, things like that. And then there's other things about maybe spring cleaning within your store and types of products you want to try to sell, things you might want to just kind of give away, so to speak, to make room for new stuff. I'm just curious if anybody has any strategies, being that it is spring and it's spring cleaning time. I'm definitely going to do a lot of the physical stuff. That's one of my goals for this coming week, is to make some more room, just be smarter about the way I store items. I might do a quick physical inventory, which I've been dreading, but I think it's a good practice once in a while. With the postcards, I'm pretty much set because it's only been a few months of doing them. There hasn't been really any time for things to get messed up. It's probably the neatest. In fact, I know it's the neatest thing I have right now. The print ads and the postcards are pretty much set, but I still have a bunch of physical stuff, regular good old wares and believe it or not, some clothing still, things like that. I might just reassess a little bit, take a look, do a physical inventory, do a compare with what I have listed, make sure everything is copacetic. So lots to do. I'm excited about it. I've been telling everybody about spring since December 21st when I made a post that said only 90 days till spring. Well, here we are. Winter is over, at least on a calendar. It's over. Hi, CJ. How you doing? Welcome to the show. That's hysterical. Victoria listed a Chef Boyardee ad. Yeah. I'm not saying anything against the ads. What's up, Jim? How you doing? Good evening to you. Dawn says, yes, list and sell them. Yeah, sell the ads. Don't eat the food. The beachy hair. What's the beachy hair mean? Not sure what that means. But anyway, yeah. Chef Boyardee, it came up in discussion. You know, sometimes on these shows we'll talk about things like that, right? Cereals we grew up with and different food types that we may have liked or disliked. And Chef Boyardee, for some reason, reared its head into the consciousness of some of us. And we were talking about, you know, absolutely the ads. I don't care what. I hate Jell-O. Many of you know I despise Jell-O, but I'll sell Jell-O ads day and night, and not bat an eyelash. So this one looks gross. Lasagna with egg noodles. Oh yeah, they used to have. Forget about it. They had spaghetti, like a whole spaghetti dinner. They had pizza. Chef Boyardee did just everything. Ravioli, I think they had. Somebody evoked the name. Well, I had said that right up there to me with Chef Boyardee is Franco-American products, just putrid. You know, they had gravy and stuff, but then they would have somebody uttered the word beefaroni. Oh, a can of beefaroni. Oof. What's up, Chappie? How you doing? Your videos, which I enjoy, have inspired me to open an eBay store. Did you really? Congratulations, and that's wonderful news. Thank you. Glad to be an inspiration, but good work on your part. Get it going. What are you listing? What do you have in your store? What do you think about the store? Pros and cons? Any regrets 2 weeks in? Yeah, SpaghettiOs, beefaroni. My God, all the, you know, they had like beef ravioli, got, you know, beef in quotes. God only knows what was going on in that. All kinds of stuff. I agree, Dawn. Dawn, anti-pasta in a can. I couldn't agree more. Despite being Canadian, you know, Dawn, with some logic there, I agree 100%. Hey, what's up, JC? How you doing? Jeff, how are you? Print ads. There you go, Chappie. Way to go. Yeah, that's really cool. I hope you're enjoying the store. I hope you're playing around with some of the bells and whistles that you now have options to by being a proud eBay store owner. Definitely play around with that. There's some cool stuff. You can run sales now. You can do markdowns and sales. You can send out coupons. There's all kinds of good stuff you can do now that you are amongst us, the store owners. What is up, Jim Lloyd? Chef Boyardee tastes the same, whether it's fresh or long spot. Yeah. I've heard a comparison to cardboard. I think that's a fair one. Maybe a little sawdust. You know, the sauce is basically sawdust. The cheese is definitely sawdust. But welcome, Jim. Mark is here. Is this a rerun live? No, this is a live, Mark. Welcome to the show. Check out SM Postcards. He's releasing videos like a fool, let me just tell you. Constantly rolling out cool new material, so definitely check out his channel, SM Postcards. Mark out in Chicago. Craft dinner. No, don't make excuses. Don't justify it. I know they have macaroni and cheese, but same thing. It's basically sawdust. I mean, come on. Selling 2 or 3 a day, trying to get a 800. That's more than, that's really good. 2 or 3 every day. With how many listings? You aspire to get to 800 or 900. That's fantastic, man. Very good. What is up, Jackie Jack Enterprises? Welcome to the show. So yeah, we're talking spring cleaning time. We're talking physical spring cleaning up some junk you might have in whatever area you dedicate to eBay. Maybe some people have entire homes or storage units or both dedicated to eBay. I definitely understand that. We've pretty much kept it to this basement area, which is where I do the shows from and the videos from, but it is a full force. Aside from the little desk over here, which you can see, my wife does some decorating with her cakes and cookies down here. But other than that, it's pretty much exclusively eBay and my little music center and all that. So I want to just straighten up things. There's always times to tidy up, and this is just a good time as any, because it's spring cleaning. And then again, I will probably wind up doing some sort of physical inventory this week. Just make sure I'm not missing anything, or I don't have something listed that I can't find. Let's try to be proactive and avoid the dreaded, canceling an item that sells because you can't find it. That hasn't happened to me in eons, but we will knock on wood and make sure it doesn't happen. So I'm going to try to be proactive, get ahead of some stuff. Yeah, it is great news. What's up, Michael? How are you doing? Yeah, great to see you, man. Welcome back. Always welcome. Keith, speaking of always welcome, by the way, what a phenomenal little the Pied Piper there. Got the bagpipes. That's really cool. How you doing, Keith? Welcome to the show. Yes, Mark uses the force to great effect, too. Awesome, Chappie. So you have, yeah, you'll easily get, I hate to say it, you could easily get 5,000 listings. You know, if you go through, it's easy to find 10 listings, 10 ads per magazine. So you have thousands right there. You have thousands. So good luck with that venture. It's a lot of fun. Just rehomed some bulk stuff. There you go. I love the different terminologies people use. Rehomed. I like it. Yeah. Move out some stuff, make some room for some fresh inventory, perhaps. You know, whatever, however you define spring cleaning. 'Tis the season, as I always say. Now we're in spring. I'm kind of motivated. It's supposed to be in the 60s later this week, which will further the motivation because it was freezing the last couple of days. So hopefully some sunshine, we got some flowers going. Trees have the buds starting and all that good stuff. So it's in the air. It's light until 7 o'clock now, which is crazy. So it's really, really nice. He is upstairs with Mrs. Flippit cuddled on the bed. But if we hear the little, bell sound, I will be the first one to let you know, Dawn. Hey, Terry, how are you? Welcome to the show. World War II. They're my favorites, that's for sure. And yeah, they're very popular without question. Yeah, there you go. The Universal Sherlock. How you doing, Gary? Welcome to the show. Mark has, if it does not fit in an envelope. Yeah, that's his ongoing mission for this year. How you doing, by the way, with that? As far as getting rid of everything on Etsy, how are you on target with all your goals and your dates? Great goal. Yeah, goal, however you want to define it, but that's what I want to do is physically clean up and then do a physical inventory, store versus actual stuff. Do some comparisons, see if I'm missing anything. I don't expect to be missing anything, but you never know. You never know. If everybody remembers, I had my first and only print ad return request. The ad just came today, and it was a very funny reason. It was just the lady that bought it said, I love the ad. My husband doesn't. He told me to return it. Okay. It was a Schlitz beer ad. So that just came in the mail today in the same envelope I sent it out in. So, of course, it was perfect. She just slapped on a label that I had to pay for, which is ridiculous. But anyway, it's already listed again, and somebody else will buy it. But that was my one and only print ad return in the several years of doing print ads. It did arrive safe and sound moments ago, actually, about 5 o'clock, a couple hours ago. Hopefully that'll be the first and only one I get. It was just such a silly reason. What's up, Allie? How you doing? Yeah, the good old death piles. That's, again, an ongoing goal, seems like, of many of us. What's up, Jody? How you doing? Jody, I sent you a message on a certain forum that you belong to. I would recommend you take a look at it. It's a friendly suggestion, but welcome to the show. Etsy is all done. Very good, man. Very cool. But great to see you, Jody. Nice videos. Jody has some beautiful videos. Again, very scenic, very artistic looking. Definitely recommend everybody check out a Marketplace Boutique, Jody, up in Michigan. She had some videos from a recent trip to Canada, which were very pleasant to watch. It was the most ridiculous return. I don't get many returns, thankfully. I guess depends on what you sell and all that stuff. Like we always say, everything comes down to it depends on what you sell. But I don't know if I get returns. This one was just, I giggled. I presented it in the forum. I said, can you believe this? That's exactly what it said. I'm not even reading it. It was basically, hi, I love the ad. My husband doesn't. He told me to return it. Okay. Didn't say why. Didn't say what the problem was, but whatever. It's already back listed and back in my drawer. Schlitzbier. Dawn's new goal is 20 listings per day. Very good. Consistency is a great word. Victoria should do inventory more often. You just found an ad you listed twice. See, there you go. That's the kind of stuff I'm going to try to hopefully not find, but if I do, try to rectify it proactively. Yep. Yeah, check it out, Jody. Nothing big, just a simple little thing. Check it out. I think you know what I'm talking about. What is up, Mrs. Flippit? Welcome to the show. Mrs. Flippit, she could tell me if I'm wrong. I do believe she's working on some postcards for me as we speak. I think she's sorting some postcards. Prior to heading upstairs with the puppy, she said she was going to go up and work on some postcards. Let's see if that's happened. She will let us know. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Allie. Hello, hello. You are. That a girl. My wife is sorting postcards, everybody. You got to love a girl that enjoys the act of sorting postcards, alphabetizing things, putting stuff in numeric order. She thrives on that kind of mundane nonsense. And I'm a better man for it because things like that make it so easy. So we get a bunch of postcards. She sorts them. I throw them in a machine, and away we go. Can't beat that. Making my life easier in so many ways. You don't think I have duplicate listings? Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm trying. I know they have there's a tool within eBay to go ahead and it automatically identifies dupes, I believe. At least they used to have one. I haven't tried that in years, but pretty sure they have some sort of functionality to find dupes. If not, I'm sure there's some third-party thing. In fact, I know 6-bit, you could probably find dupes as well. I don't know that I'm so much looking for dupe listings. I'm looking for physical inventory. So stuff up on these shelves that you see over here, over there, versus what I have in my store. That's all. Do a little inventory, make sure everything is, matches, nothing's missing, that I don't have some stuff potentially taking up space that I don't have listed. That's a possibility. I may have accidentally, because we have a whole area that you can't see to my left with, a bunch of these type things filled with stuff to be listed, including some magazines and all that good stuff. It's, again, some physical stuff. It's called OCD. Yeah, I know. Has to be perfect. Well, I love it. It's a huge benefit. Sorting, yeah. Yeah, Mark goes right past that. Oh, it's nothing, Jody. But I think I know what forum I'm talking about was really what I meant. If you write me right now, I could tell you. It would be a private message thing, Jody. You're mostly finding things that have dropped off eBay. That's interesting. With all the and sell similar stuff that many of us do, I've heard tale of people losing listings, eBay just losing listings. They vanish into the ether. So again, hopefully, I'm hoping the physical inventory thing will help me with any of those. Find some of those one-offs. Jim, she sorts not only does she sort them, first of all, she sorts them well. She enjoys sorting them, excuse me. If they happen to come sleeved, she'll unsleeve them for me so I can scan them. Even better, once scanned, she'll put them back in a sleeve for me. So it's all these mundane tasks, I say, all those kind of things that drive us batty, that gives me paper cuts. She loves it. She loves doing that stuff. Chappie has accumulated 3,000 postcards. Very good. Yeah, both fun things. I mean, that's my two biggest things. You search your store before you start listing now, which is ridiculous because it takes so much time. Yeah, exactly. So if you have an inventory under your belt, hopefully you bypass, spend, it might even take, depending on the amount of inventory you have, listed and unlisted, that could take some time, obviously. Yeah, vanishing into the eBay oblivion. I want to try to capture some of those. Scary, why scary? Sorry, I probably went too fast to know. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she worked on a lot of ads for me, too. Unsleeve you, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. It's unsleeving time, baby. But she does all those things, those kind of menial tasks, the things that get in the way of a lot of other people I know. Like it's always great on paper to say, hey, list, you list yourself, sure. But the act of actually doing some of these things and the inherent laziness in most of us, that prevents some of those activities from taking place, she makes it so much easier. I mean, how lazy can you be? If she sends me, she comes down with a tub of sorted, and I mean sorted, I mean states, with a little tag going what state it's in. If it's Easter, it says Easter. Then she'll alphabetize, like if I have a bunch of Idaho cards, let's just say for whatever reason, she'll alphabetize it by city within Idaho. So, I mean, a lot of that, the grunt work is all done up front. So I'm left with a beautiful, nice, easy stack of postcards to throw in my duplex scanner and get listed. I can't complain. I see Chef YID conversations are taking place elsewhere. It just makes me laugh. Not having a spouse helps you. I'm misreading this. Not having a spouse helping you is immense. I miss my wife being able to work with me full time. Yeah, she doesn't work with me full time at it. She has a job as well, but she just recently took this on. Like she helped with the print ads at first. Like it sounds silly, but the video, if you've seen the video series I have over on YouTube about print ads, I have a whole episode or a whole video about how to take staples out of a Life magazine, for example, right? How to do it properly without trying not to compromise the paper or rip it or do whatever. She was at the forefront of that. She's the one that kind of came up with that idea with the knife that I use. So she's good at all that kind of stuff. And then with the postcards recently, especially, she just kind of, when I came back from the postcard show, which is another point I want to bring up for Friday. But so don't let me forget that. If I get off target, please somebody bring up the postcard show. Tell me to bring up the postcard show. But anyway, when I came back with the postcard show and we had those couple of tubs, that's when she kind of said, "You want me to sort these for you?" I'm like, "You kidding me?" And then she just asked, "What do I want?" I said, "If you could do it by state, sure." And then all these extra cards that weren't state views, she's like, "What do I do with these?" I'm like, "Put them in order. If it's Easter, put them in Easter." That's what she did. And she did a great job. So that was a couple of months ago. So it's made my postcard endeavors much, much easier. Scary. Oh, you were answering scary to Chappie. Sorry about that, Dawn. Yeah, but a lot of people would say that scariness is actually kind of fun. That's part of the fun of doing postcards. What's up, Kelly? Bring it on. I don't care. That's a beautiful thing. She wants to watch it. It's funny you say this because we were just over the weekend, we were talking about watching the Popeye series again together, the Soup to Nuts tremendous series he has about postcards, like 50 parts, whatever it is. So I don't mind her getting into it at all, but it's really cool that she does all that like she's doing as we speak. The organizing, the alphabetizing. She does. She learns things, and she loves to learn new things and take them on. It wouldn't surprise me at all. She really got it. As far as eBay goes, the first thing that she really dove into was stamps, trying to learn everything she can about stamps because we acquired this big collection of stamps from my great-grandfather that were very kind of loose and unorganized, even though he died in 1983. So that's unbelievable. It's been 40 years since he died. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I didn't get the collection until later. He always said he was going to leave it to me. And I remember talking with them and going through them, but having no concept of, what stamp value was. And then I don't know if his daughter, who was my grandmother, I think she gave them to us maybe 15, 20 years ago, something like that. And there they sat. And then Mrs. Flippett dove in a couple of years ago. We started getting the stamps. We got the Scott books and all that stuff. Watched some videos. Stamps are very, very frustrating to me. Install shelves and shovel snow on the off chance that you get some snow. And shovels the driveway. There you go. Shovels did not need to come out. We had a bust of a winter, no flakes. A lot of some cold weather, but overall insanely warm, like much warmer than it should be. And no snow. No snow here on the Pennsylvania-Delaware border. We got the shaft. My wife loves winter, by the way. Favorite season, winter. And we didn't have so much as a flake. Oh, well, there's always next year, right, honey? Well, at least you got to bang out the shovel. We had nothing. Absolutely nothing. Tracy, you're driving. How you doing, Tracy? And watching? I wouldn't mind if you're listening. I don't know about watching, but great to see you, Tracy. We'll hear from you, Tracy. Hope you're doing well. And a rabbit hole it is. So it is quite a rabbit hole. I've probably mentioned this 500 times over the course of a year on YouTube, but the stamps are a bittersweet thing. Like, I was excited to get this, nice little collection and all, and I've heard about it my whole life about how great it was and everything. But the reality of getting them in order, because it was kind of chaotic when we picked them up. They're just shopping bags filled with loose stamps with no rhyme or reason and no organization, and then a lot of handwritten notes and things, but still a lot of mystery. We didn't know. We couldn't even read the handwriting half the time. So my wife really did a bang up job of at least getting, the messy stamps in some semblance of order with that. We picked up those Scott books, and she found out about the Scott numbers and getting those things in order. But again, we've been fooled several times already. Thank God for postcards, by the way, because it took our focus away from the stamps a little bit. But we got fooled several times where we thought we had this really winning stamp that was going to be worth a bunch of money, and started jumping up and down and ready to fire it up on eBay. And thank God we didn't, because upon further review, there's one little difference that completely evaporates the value from, 5,000 to 20 cents, 25 cents, I think is the lowest now on a postcard. But it drives me nuts. I'm not saying it's not cool. I'm sure there's tons to learn and all, but the expression I use all the time is there's a lot of gotchas with stamps. You know, they think, haha, we got you. You believed it again. You believed you had $1,000 stamp. Nope, it's only worth a quarter. Lori had a lot of snow out in Nevada. Cool. Yeah, it's absolutely beyond a rabbit hole. Some might call it a black hole. Yeah, Mark probably comes across 1 million stamps during the course of his processing and going through postcards, but I think Mark has videos about it, or at least touches on it. I know Popeye does. Like this, it's 1 in a billion that a stamp on a postcard is going to be worth anything. Yet a lot of people, including me, was, early on, especially looking at the back of these postcards. Oh, it's a, Benjamin Franklin stamp from 1910. Well, there's 10 trillion of them, and they're not valued. Unfortunately, they don't have a big value. After watching my video, you have listed some article pieces from Life magazine. Oh, very cool. Yeah. Perfect examples. Yep. I have an Elvis ad from 1956, like a 5 or 6 sheet ad. I've sold ads in the past. I had a thing, Brooklyn Dodgers spring training in like 55 or 56. That sold. I sold numerous articles. It's a great idea. Yep. I think that's the video, Chappie, right? Where like what to do with the rest of the magazine kind of stuff. It's just some ideas. It's not the end of it. I'm sure there's, I encourage, if anybody has any other ideas for the, what to do with the rest of the magazine, I'm totally up for listening and hearing about them. I'd love to hear some more ideas. But basically mine were, what Chappie just said, creating like junk journal material for people, scrapbook material from odds and ends. There's just so many opportunities. Almost every ad, even the really, really small ads, they'll sell on their own as well. So there's just so much meat on the bone when it comes to old magazines. It's incredible. Yep, the articles absolutely sell. Dawn, didn't you sell an article too? Fairly recently, I could have sworn you said something about an article you sold. If so, please let the group know. And by the way, speaking of the group, if you wouldn't mind leaving a thumbs up if you're enjoying the conversation. Again, I do enjoy having everybody. I'm very grateful for having all of you checking out the show tonight. I'm sorry. We're going to try to get back on a regular schedule without blowing off Fridays here or there and Mondays for various reasons, but things are pretty much back to normal. Spring is here, as I've said 18,000 times already on this show, and we hope to keep with the Monday and Friday schedule. However, Friday, but this is a good however. Remember I said don't let me forget about the postcards? Well, coming up this Friday, something I just found out about, and I'm going to throw a graphic up for everybody. If I can find it. I just made it. Hopefully I can find it. Here we go. Coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday, out in, as they call it, Lancaster in Pennsylvania Dutchland. Instead of Lancaster, it's pronounced Lancaster. Friday and Saturday, is it pronounced Morlaton, I guess? Morlaton Postcard Club, 46th Annual Postcard Show. I will be there on Friday for sure. And if it goes well, I'll go back Saturday. But I have a show on Sunday, so I can't do anything on Sunday. So the timing is actually perfect for this. Yeah, a whole $250 to get in, Now, the challenges for them is going to be if they can come up with a delicious chicken soup like they had in York. I don't know if they could be topped. But anyway, in all seriousness, I can't wait on Friday, 10 to 6. I will be doing, instead of doing this chat show, because I won't be back in time. It's an hour and a half ride from my house, Lancaster. I definitely want to hang out the whole day. It's, 10 to 6 is 8 hours, right? We'll do a remote. We'll do a remote on Friday, maybe several of them, depending on how the day goes, from the postcard show. I know it's not going to be nearly as big as York, because York is the biggest and best in the U.S., supposedly. So I've already been there. I'm looking forward to this one. It's a little bit less of a ride. It's, again, about an hour and 25 minutes, hour 30 minutes. So check out the channel. Make sure you have your notifications set. And I will chime in sometime between 10 and 6 on Friday. And again, if things go well on Friday, maybe we'll go back on Saturday and try it both days. But I can't wait. This is now my second postcard show in only since November. So what, 4 or 5 months? Not even. Looking forward to it. And I will again chime in live. I'll do a little remote. Hopefully the internet gods will be on our side, the Wi-Fi gods, and we'll be able to do a remote. I'll show you guys around, show you kind of what I'm seeing as I'm seeing it. Maybe we'll sit down at a tub and we'll go through and look at some stuff, and Kelly could say, what are you doing? Pick that one up. Or throw it. Or Mark will say, get them all. But I'm looking forward to that. So Friday, sometime between 10 and 6, check out. Make sure you have your notifications set, and I will be doing a little live remote action permitting, as long as the Wi-Fi is good. And please, again, as always, if there's any issues, if everything's like all wobbly, if you can't hear me, if it's freezing, please let me know. Because I learned from York, I mean, when you're walking around with a phone and trying to do like a live show, you can't really see a lot of the chat stuff on this tiny little phone. So write in bold or something and say, we can't hear you, or, the video looks awful. That's fine. Hopefully it'll be pretty clear, and we'll get a kick out of doing a virtual card show together. And hopefully I'll come back with a bunch of postcards for my wife to organize. And then all will be well in the world, because I am getting low on my postcard count again. Remember how I vowed last time to never be postcard less, like I found myself eerily last fall? Never going to happen again. I make it low, but I'm never going to be at 0 again. I'd rather hold on to 100 and just have it like an emergency stash. Dawn, an article for Jackie Robinson. Very cool. Ready to roll. Dawn, is the dates in Canada metric? Yeah, go get your Jiminy dust. Thumbs up, please, if you wouldn't mind. I'd appreciate it. Admission is too expensive. Oh, for the show, yeah, $250. Kelly. Legendarily, I got myself a bowl of soup. I use the word bowl in jest. A cup of soup. 3 spoonfuls of soup. It was November. It was cold. I had a little food mart, and there were 3 old ladies stirring up a crock of soup. I was starving to death, and like a fool, I had I had the chicken soup. Like $47 for 3 spoonfuls. Nichelle Crocker, how are you? All these great postcard events are so far away. You can still have soup. You can have soup. There's a great website to find local postcard shows. Most of you guys probably know about it. But let me pull that up again, and I can show you the website. Because that's where I just pulled down that graphic about the show coming up in Lancaster. I got to get used to saying it right. Lancaster. A guy who plays George Harrison in my Beatle band is from Lancaster, or lives right outside of Lancaster. And he told me, no. It is called Lancaster. It's postcardhistory.net, everybody. So check this out, unless Dawn's already posted it. Got that link, and then you can look for a show coming to a town near you. I'm lucky that I had the York, and I'll tell you what, the good times just keep coming, because we also have a show coming up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, stone's throw, like an hour north of me. And on April 1st, Mrs. Flippin and I will be driving up to the big city in Manhattan for another postcard. So I should have 4 under my belt by April 1st. Not bad. But go check out that website, postcardhistory.net, and you'll see kind of I think the link I sent should have all the upcoming shows. It goes all the way through, it looks like the end of June. Kansas, New Hampshire, Brookline, New Hampshire, Beacon, New York, Boxborough, Massachusetts, Wyoming, Michigan, Aurora, Colorado, Arcadia, California, Dayton, Ohio, South Bend. And again, I'll be going to Allentown, and I'll be going to the one in New York City on April 1st. So check out that website. If you haven't seen it, then you're welcome. If you have seen it, then you can ignore it. Yeah, there's going to be some good postcards in there. That might be the article I'm talking about. Let me check out Dawn's link quick. If I could see behind this light. Paul de Limburg. Anyway, don't put a link to an article that's sold, apparently. Yeah, you'll see. There's a lot of people selling articles for magazines. And like anything else, it's going to come down to scarcity, popularity, all the usual suspects. Sold for $13 on a best offer, sure. Is that your sale, Dawn? I'm sorry, I didn't even look at the owner of the thing. Great to have you, Nichelle. Thanks so much. Pleasure to have you. Postcard peeps, you may have local shows that are not on the side. Very true, absolutely. There you go. Will you be attending, Kelly? That one in New Hampshire, is that within driving distance to you, or is it still like a million miles away? But it's a nice resource to have, some upcoming shows. I'm fortunate enough, again, between York and now, I'll have York, I'll have Lancaster, I'll have New York City, and I'll have Allentown, Pennsylvania. So I'll have 4 shows under my belt. Here is your category for articles. Okay. There's a link again. As a buyer, yes. I don't go to New Hampshire, but I'm asked to go several times. Okay. Well, that sounds reasonably close to you anyway, compared to some of the other ones. Kelly is tucked up in Maine, seeing as I can list and sell certain ads. I'm creating that personal collection that are great looking in a store. Very good. Sure. Do with them as you wish. It has been worth it to drive by DC and Baltimore traffic. To York, is that what you're talking about? Nova Crows? Yeah, there you go. Back up the truck. But that would be aggressive, go rent a rider truck or something, pull up. Who's ready to sell some postcards? What is going on, Ben? New to your provisions. Welcome to the show. Paper and more, though. This is all things here on the Jiminy Flippert Show. We do paper. We do Disney. We do records galore. Sold some records. Did everybody see? I'm going to put this back in because for those of you who haven't seen this, I want to show you this. I got a kick out of this message. He says sarcastically, last night, as I mentioned, I was at a wake for a family member up in Staten Island. I received the following message while at my wake, and I am not going to reveal the name, although I did somewhere else. But here's the body of the message that I received. And despite being at a wake once again, I thought that maybe it warranted some investigation. Can I not paste this? Hold on. I can't paste snips. All right, hold on. I do want to call this guy out, though, because I'm mad. Mad, I tell you. All right, I get this message at the wake last night. Drum roll, please. Dawn, where's the drum roll? Let's see if I can add this. Multitasking, everybody. It's not a background. It is a overlay. Here we go. Desktop. All right. There we go. There's the message I receive while grieving the loss of a loved one. I would like to purchase at least 10 of your 78 RPM records. So right away the eyes go, oh, beautiful, right? I would like to have a quantity discount. A little presumptuous, but of course I would have offered one anyway. Should I make my offers one at a time? Is there a way to do all 10 or more at once? So a little ambiguous, obviously dangling the carrot in front of me. You know what I mean? 10 or more. I want to do a bunch of 78s. 78s sell really well. Yet again, another long tail item in most cases, but I have some listed and they do sell, and they sell for great money, way more than I bought them for. That's the bottom line. So of course I am, intrigued. And I put together a quick, something I'm not accustomed to doing is I used my phone at the wake. Very unprofessional, by the way, very uncool at a wake, but duty called, So I'm like, thanks so much for writing, blah, blah, blah. Sure. I said, why don't you go ahead and put through some offers. If it's not too much of a hassle, I'll take a look at them each one-on-one. And, I'd be delighted to offer you a discount. In fact, I didn't say this, but I would have probably offered free shipping if they went ahead and bought 10 or more records. They go media mail, even though they're pretty heavy, but it still would be, talking about a couple of $100 potentially at least. Time well spent, right? So I sent away the message. That was yesterday. Nothing all night. Nothing this morning. So I sent a little, hey, just checking in. He goes, oh, thanks. I'll check out your listing soon or something. That was at like, I don't know where he is. Actually, he's in Maine, Portland, Maine. That was at, let's see what time this was. When he wrote back, I'll check your listing. See, to me, it was implied that he already checked out my listings when he said he'd like to buy 10 or more 78s. You would think that meant that he already looked at some of those 78s. So anyway, he just retaliated and said something like, thanks, I'll take a look soon. And that was, when was the 19th? That was actually last night, excuse me. At 7:05 last night. Okay, I'll go through your listing soon. I wrote back this morning and said, let me know if you need any help. And gone with the wind. So frustrating. You get teased like that with a tempting potential purchase. And I want discounts. I want this and this. But unfortunately, it looks like it's not happening, at least as of now. I will let everybody know if it does work out. But that's a little frustrating, Let me go back. I probably missed some. Everybody, last I saw was Hi Ben, right? Don't know if you do much help, but I'll give us some ideas. Ben, sure. Whenever I go look at toy hauls, I would rent a large U-Haul before I even bought. That's a good thing. That's called the power of positive thinking. Pennsylvania in general, York shows are always great. Yes, antique shows. My wife is from just outside York. Very cool. Yeah, you come pulling up in a truck. They know you're not fooling around, right? Drum roll. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely, Mark. I mean, it's almost implied. And again, I'm sorry if I'm not talking paper here. I'm talking 78 records, but who cares, right? We're selling on eBay. Same kind of thing. Vintage items for sure. Check your site. Amazing. I love that stuff. Oh, Dawn has wonderful. Again, I like to talk about and check out her Etsy store. I think Dawn has a beautiful Etsy store. No, it's not a terrible message. It's a great message. The terrible part is he hasn't responded or taken a look at or sent me any offers after saying, I want to buy multiples. Of course, I would give a discount, you know? What's up, Cameron? How are you? Welcome to the show. As a meaner, that's a very... Okay, that's true. Mean time might be a little slower. I don't know. That's a given. Absolutely. I agree, Jim. More pictures or from the clothing days, you know, I mentioned this last show, I think. You could have a T-shirt listed, you know, size, large, men's T-shirt, measures, you know, 15 and a half inches from armpit to the bottom of the shirt and 16 and a half inches wide, whatever the dimensions are. You could have 5 different dimensions. And then you'll get the one message that says, can you give me the dimension from X to Y? And if you go through trouble doing it, you're right. They'll never buy it anyway. So that kind of stuff I don't miss. I despise that nonsense. Making you go through hoops for absolutely no reason. Wanted to bulk discount and combined shipping, went back forth. He said, done crickets. Yeah, I'm not saying the message was bad. It was, like I said, a little forward to say, I want a discount. How about saying it, you know, could you reword things? You know, would you be willing to offer a discount for a bulk discount? Because the obvious answer is yes. And I would have thrown that out there anyway. That's not even what I'm peeved over. I'm peeved over the fact that they just disappeared. And it's been 26 hours now. No offers, nothing. That is the issue. 12-pack, sure. 6-pack, sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Mark had a great quote. Something basically that says, correct me if I'm wrong, Mark, like not every question warrants a response, something like that. I thought that was pretty cool. CJ with a link. There you go. Yeah, that is a cool Etsy store. Very, very nice Etsy store. Everybody go run and check the Queen of Canada's Etsy shop. Beautifully done. Yeah. No, again, the issue for me is not the discount. I would have probably offered that without question. You know, if they're buying 10 or more, as he teased a couple times, or more, I'm like, all right, you know, show me what you got. Send some offers through. But again, as of 26 hours now, nothing. So I'm going to assume he's vanished. But again, I'll let everybody know if it comes through, because it would potentially be a pretty nice order. Even if he just gets 10, that could be some decent money. Most of my 78s are like 15, $20 at least. So, but do go check out Dawn's Etsy. A very nice store. I actually get little messages every time Dawn updates or uploads something to Etsy. Dawn is added to her store, and I always make sure I check it out. Very pretty things. So again, I will let everybody know about this Meanite, or whatever Kelly said they're called. Maniacs. If he does come through, I'll let everybody know. But I'm not going to hold my breath. What is up? RDG Love Guitars. That's called a flake. In those cases, I create a custom coupon. There you go. That's a good idea with a timer on it. I like that. Yeah. Yep. Call him out on the carpet, right? So here you go, buddy. Here you go, tough guy. You want to get all this stuff? Exactly. So I don't want to be negative about it. I'm down that he didn't act on anything. That's all. I had hoped, you know, and again, because of the fact I was sitting in a wake, you know, pretty inappropriate to be conducting eBay business, but this one just jumped. It wasn't like, you know, an offer for $4 on a $5 postcard. It was potentially a bulk order. I'm interested in this and this. And oh yeah. And then again, I'm not going to reveal the name, but it said something like his signature was like 22 years on eBay. Like we're all supposed to go, ooh, wow. 100% feedback. So this is coming from a legitimate source. I get that. People like to toot their horn. So Mr. 22 years on eBay apparently doesn't know how to use the offer button. Your Etsy listings have dropped off. Added 6 things yesterday, but you don't have your photo set up anymore. Yeah, my Etsy is basically hanging on by a thread. I really don't do anything to cultivate it or add listings. I haven't added a listing in many months on Etsy. It's just kind of there. It was really the only things I have on Etsy, as a matter of fact, are just cross listings from eBay, a very small handful now, probably, in fact, definitely under 100, like 80 something last I checked. Let's even say they might have expired. I have no idea. I don't even look at my Etsy page. And once in a blue moon, when I get a sale, I jump because it's a different cha-ching sound. I'm like, what is that? That's how unaccustomed I am to getting Etsy sales. They're fun when they come in. Yeah, I'm sitting at, how many live listings do we have over on the Etsy? We have a whopping 66 live. That's right, 66 live. 7 have expired. Let me see why they've expired. Oh, because they have to renew. That's the other thing about Etsy. You have to pay your 20 cents up front or whatever it is for 3 months. So I have 6 that just expired on March 10th. Oh, well. We'll see. I'm not in the Mark is in that mass exodus out of Etsy mode. I'm not. Again, it's just basically cross-posted stuff. And I don't pay it much mind, unfortunately. I think it's a good platform, but I haven't sold ads on there. That was my initial thing. Let me cross-post my ads, and no luck. You were on the phone with eBay today. They thanked me for being eBay 22 years. Oh, congratulations, Laurie. That's a good thing. That's right. Demand discounts. Now, that wasn't even the big deal to me. The wording, like I said, was a little forward. I would like a volume discount. I'm sure you would, wouldn't we all? Tough guy. 22 years. But the bigger thing to me was just that he didn't come through and send so much as one offer, talking all this big stuff about 10 or more and all this. And Marty has 40 sales. Yeah. Well, that I would know because I would hear the strange sound on my phone that I'm not accustomed to hearing. What's up, Popeye? You have not missed anything. I just raved about your cooking skills, and we're talking about spring cleaning, both virtually, in your eBay store, potentially cleaning up some items, and then physically, like me, cleaning up some stuff, organizing. We're now talking about what appears to be a bogus request I got last night while out at a wake for a family member last night. Somebody wrote me a message and said, I'm interested in buying 10 or more of your 78 records, and I want a volume discount because I've been on eBay for 22 years. And I said, okay. And send me some offers. I'd be happy to. And they vanished. So we're whining about that right now, but that won't last very long. And Ben has arrived. That was a huge addition to the show, clearly. Yeah, I'm a big fan of being 100% eBay as well. Scattering. My only other decent platform is Discogs. I sell records on Disc. I buy much more than I sell, but I have some listings on Discogs. And it's a really cool platform exclusively for music. Maybe you'd be too, Kelly, if you were teased like that. If somebody said, Kelly, I want to buy 100 of your postcards, I'm willing to pay top dollar. You say, okay. Yeah. With Wake. Tomorrow's cleanup day. You need to get a bunch of new items into inventory. They're listed. Yeah, that's always a good thing. Cleanup day, spring training. Well, spring training is also in full force. Spring cleaning time. What's up, Michelle? How are you? Welcome to the show. Great to have you. Let me know if you guys have anything going on in the way of the spring cleaning thing that we kind of opened up with as our topic, a rare topic here on the show this evening, being the first day of spring. If you guys have anything that you're looking to do, anybody looking to move into potentially something new, to learn something new, to sell something new, to grow their existing business, which is definitely my plan when it comes to postcards. Oh, and Popeye, I did mention that coming up Friday, I will be in Lancaster at that postcard show that we heard about the other day. So I put a little banner up about that. If anybody's local and wants to go, I'd love to check it out. Love to meet you. If you're in the area, let me know, and we'll hang out. And I'll probably be doing a live remote Friday at some point. We'll check in, provided that the internet is good enough out there and you can get a good signal. We'll do a couple of live shows. We'll look through some postcards. We'll hang out. We'll eat, we'll drink, we'll be merry. Yep, always. Did you give your Yelp review of Frederick? No, I have not, but that was a very nice brewery place. Yeah, it's just something to talk about, Kelly. That's all. I listed a button on a souvenir booklets today. Oh, very good. Very cool. I like the end of that sentence. I want them gone. Is there anything out there that you guys want gone? I have some things I'd like to be gone. The remaining clothing, I would like to be gone. I would like to have no more clothing, unless something really cool comes, that I pick up. But I don't have a lot of clothing left, but I do have some clothing, and it does irk me. So I would like my clothing to be gone. That could be a spring training. I keep saying spring training. Spring cleaning exercise to get the clothes out of here. Maybe just blow them out at $5 a piece. Take it away. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to be gone. I have some Disney popcorn buckets that I picked up years ago at this point, probably 4 or 5 years ago. If anybody's familiar in Disney, they sell popcorn buckets when you get your popcorn in the Magic Kingdom or in Epcot now. And sometimes they're specialized buckets. They have different characters on them. They could commemorate a certain event or a party or whatever. Well, I got a bunch of them. I don't remember the number. If Mrs. Flippett is still watching, she might be able to tell me. It's 100 plus popcorn buckets we got for a song, and I'm still holding on to some of them. They sell here or there. It's pretty sporadic. I'd like to get rid of the popcorn buckets because they physically take up some space. As does the clothing. Like a bin filled with clothing is impeding my progress as far as postcard, storage space goes. That's probably about it as far as me just trying to clean some stuff out. But I like the way that Cameron put that. I want them gone. Yep, absolutely, Keith. And again, for me, it's a two-pronged attack. It's the physical and it's the virtual. Definitely gonna do an inventory. Making ephemera packets out of stuff you need to get rid of. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, yeah? Packets. Like lots, like craft lots kind of things. Popeye is actually listing. Whoa. Wow. Good job, man. We got to get Mrs. Popeye. We got to get olive oil to do some listing. That's what we got to get going. Need to get back to non-paper postcard items. Need to get some revenue flowing. It's been so slow for you because of the long tail stuff. I definitely understand that completely. Do you have access to stuff, Ben? Like hard goods, like good stuff you could flip relatively quickly? Once again, paper is a volume game, as we all know. They're not going to fly off the shelves. Are you selling those on Etsy or eBay or whatnot? Yeah, good question. Did you realize it was me that bought a stadium card? Uh-oh, Keith, I hit the like button. Yeah, well, thank you for hitting that thumbs up. I'm glad you did. I appreciate it very much. How are your channels doing, Cameron? Feel free to plug your channel. We have about 16 channels out there in Oregon. What is it? Oregon. I forgot how you say it. We joked about the pronunciation of that state. Cameron has at least 3 that I know of. And I know, is it this one, Cameron, that you're dangerously close to hitting 1,000 if you haven't hit it already? Dental books. 2 words for you. Dental books. Popeye has dental books. If anybody wants to buy a lot of dental books for pennies on the dollar, just contact Popeye. You have a bunch of lots you're building to sell probably in Etsy. Very cool. 150 banker boxes full of dental books. Were they just part of a postcard haul, Popeye? Like, did somebody just throw in these dental books? Or was it something you actively went to purchase thinking they would flip and they just sitting there? Jim wants it all gone. See, I like that. Get it all gone and start over, right? With cash, of course, as a transaction. Clothing, I want it out of here. Hasta la vista, as they say in Honduras. No, Keith, you had no clue what it was. Oblivious. Okay, thanks for pointing that out. Ben has a large box containing 50s Farm playset that has been listed for 3 years. It's taking up room. You want that out. Ben wants that out. Mark has taken 2.5 years to get rid of his toy stuff. And you were heavily into the toy game, right, Mark? Cut your teeth doing toys on eBay? I don't know. I'm asking the question. Michelle is kind of throwing anything not worth listing on its own into a bucket and picking up random stuff to add, like recipe box. Oh, that's cool. I like it. We still have shoe boxes. Again, I know people make good money selling shoes, but it's just not one of my favorite things. Excuse me, from a storage perspective, from a listing perspective, different angles, pain in the neck. At least I get used to my scanners and my paper stuff, and it's a hassle. A record involves a little bit of effort, even though I can still scan my records, but the shoes are just a pain in the neck to get listed. I know they can sell, but we've been lucky enough. My mother-in-law and my grandmother-in-law, I guess, who just turned 100, by the way, in the beginning of March. So happy birthday to Mrs. Great-Grandma Flippett, or Grandma Flippett, I guess it would be. Just turned 100, and she has very long story short, she was a seamstress for like 70 years or 60 years or something. She worked in a rural town in northern Pennsylvania, and she was involved in making, during World War II, she was involved in the sewing and making of military clothing and outfits for the military, which is really cool. So anyway, she knows her clothes and she keeps them immaculate. Having grown up in the Great Depression, it gives you a different, perspective on keeping things and maintaining your clothing. So she's a maniac when it comes to clothing. Everything is like, it could be 80 years old, but it looks like it was made yesterday. Well, she gave us a ton of shoes, old lady shoes, but shoes, and I just can't get the motivation. That's one of my definite weaknesses. And yet I stumble over these boxes. They're like right in the back of the screen that you're watching me on. I can't get motivated to list them. So I want those shoes gone. That's a big one. I want grandma's shoes out of my life. Emerald Stadium. Indeed. Love how Dawn Wright nods. That must be a Canadian expression. Nods. Like, yes. Handful of clothing just on Poshmark. Poshmark, I was on for all of a week. Sold one item an hour after I opened my Poshmark. Thought I hit the mother load. Never sold another item. Bailed. But I know, again, a lot of people have a great success on Poshmark. Looking at getting a wireless Epson scanner. Okay, cool. 50 items per lot. Old pictures, damaged, Niagara Falls postcards. Oh, don't say that. Nice. That's a great idea. Just lot them all up, right? Cameron needs to be listing. Well, there's something to be said for recuperation, Cameron. Nothing wrong with that, man. Want to get rid of all the stuff you bought when you first started reselling, like larger items before you found paper niche. Absolutely. Agreed. For me, that would be clothing, the aforementioned popcorn buckets, any just little knickknacks and things that we've had up for a while. I'd love them all to be out of our life. New seller question, says Nichelle, regarding organizing the store, how much do you feel categories lead to sales? For me personally, I have many categories. I'm sure most of us do. Potentially, the big draw for me, at least when I started doing them like that, was if, let's use good old Coca-Cola as an example. If there's somebody out there that likes Coca-Cola stuff and I have a Coca-Cola category in my eBay store, my hope is that somebody buys one Coca-Cola ad, let's just say, that whether they do it on their own or I poke them a little bit, I can mention the fact, I see you like Coca-Cola. Are you a collector? I have 100 other Coca-Cola ads. Check out this link, and I'll send them a link like to that section of my store. I'll point them towards my section of the store. So I think there's a definite benefit there. The ultimate goal conceptually is to get somebody to not just be a one-time purchaser, unless it's a unique item that's a one-off. But for most of us, postcards and print ads and ephemera in general and things we have multiples of, you hope that somebody's going to, like the guy with the 78 records, for instance, record collectors, same thing. You want to try to grab them, get them into your store, and literally go shopping like you would by foot going to Macy's and, here's a sweater and here's this, and have a shopping cart and fill it up, not just go in, buy a pair of shoes and leave. So I think that's a huge benefit of having stores and categories. I think give at least a perception of organization. So if somebody is trying to hone in on a specific thing, they don't have to search through your whole store. They can just click on, Coca-Cola or whatever it is, Disney, one of my Disney items. They could just go to the Disney item. So I think there's a benefit there. I don't know if it directly leads to sales, but I think it gives you the best opportunity to get a buyer into your environment, to stay there a few minutes and shop around and look around. When you walk into a store and the sales associates, can I help you with anything? I'm just looking. You want them to be just looking. At least I do in your eBay store too. Always stuff at auctions. Yep. There we go. There's the 3. So pick a channel and subscribe to it, everybody. Cameron out in Oregon. He's good people. And you got to be dangerously close on this one, right, Cameron? Gravity Goods is your first store, I guess, the most subscribers. You need to list to, you're on the road for the next. Well, there you go. That's going to make it difficult. What's up, Morris? How are you? Morrissey. Oh yes. Did I find those 200 listings? Yeah, we're not going to go into it. It was a saga here, but yes, thanks to good old 6-bit, I was able to not only identify them but bring them all back in live into my eBay store. But thanks for following up with that. It's been a while, so I guess you haven't been on in a while, Morris. Welcome back. That was a scary few days, but again, 6-bit miraculously, I did a backup of the store. I was able to get them all, find them all. It took a little while, but it was time well spent. Thanks for asking about that. Good question. Hey, Jay Smith, how are you? I don't know if I said hi yet, but welcome to the show. 400 DPI, will it be too slow? I don't know. Mine's hardwired because it's so close. I mean, my tower is, I use sound as a descriptor here because we have a camera focused on me, of course. That would be the desktop, and that would be the scanner. It's all of 6 inches apart. So I have most stuff I try to keep hardwired if I can. I like it. It's definitely a little faster and more stable, even though we have killer Wi-Fi. Whoa. He is only 60 away. We have 56 watching right now. If there's anybody in this chat who has not subscribed to Cameron, please do. Dawn Wright, can we get a link? Can we get a link for Gravity Goods? Cameron, he's only 60 away. If we can make any headway and get him closer to his 1,000, please go ahead and check out Cameron. He's a good guy, good material, friendly face. He's distracted. You've been distracted by a side project. Uh-oh. Look at the tees. Ben is good at the art of the tees. Bought them on purpose. Okay, cool. Much to your chagrin. These have got to sell. There's got to be somebody out there that likes that. Depends on what you sell. That's the canned answer for most questions. Depends on what you sell. Yep, I like categories personally. I do think it provides your buyer an opportunity to whittle down to things that they're interested in rather than just searching a mess of listings. It's also good for me. It's good for, from a selling perspective, it's good for, let's say you want to do a markdown and sale, but you only want to do it on print ads. You know, I have all my print ad categories separated, so I can just run a sale on specific categories within your store, things like that. So there's a lot of benefit. You can still find the listing for the dental books that you picked up. Well, check that out. I cannot click on it on what is this thing called? StreamYard. Mark, 6,000 to 8,000 listings of toys. Holy cow. And what are you down to now? You've been doing that for years, Mark, like from beginning? 3,100 for how many? I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers committed to memory, but I'm sure it's still a good deal, but it's just a lot of stuff. Tracy has listed 23 vintage sealed Simpson toys NN. Congratulations. Yeah, Tracy, you like the toys, don't you? I see a lot of toys in Tracy's world in 1987 Adventures. Yeah, I haven't tried. Well, my printer is wireless. Is it wireless? Yeah, it is wireless because we have several machines hooked up. But I had to second our main printer that we use for like labels and everyday my set list for the band and things like that is absolutely wireless. But most of the other stuff I have hard rigged, like the stuff down here, right in back again in front of you. You can't see, but there's a closet back here, and I have like my entire internet wired life is back there. All the cables, all the routers and switches and stuff. So it really makes sense for me doing most of my business down in this area that this direct, it's all very, very short distance away. So I prefer the speed and the reliability of the hardwired stuff. Plus it takes a little pressure off, like my dad's upstairs. So he's got the TV, of course, he's got Roku. In his room, he's got a Roku. In our room, we got a Roku. In the girls' room, which is 3 floors above, there's a Roku, there's a television, and they all rely on the Wi-Fi because I'm not going to run wires 100 feet up in the air. I'm not that motivated. So we still have really good, we have gigabit Ethernet, and it works great. It's very reliable. That's a great question. Does Canada have Wi-Fi? That's the bigger question. I know I'm full behind in the chat. I apologize. I'm chatting. But thanks to everybody. And again, if you haven't had an opportunity to give a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. And please do subscribe to Cameron. What's up, Karen? How you doing? Let's see if we can get him closer to that magical number. He's only 60 away. We got 60 watching. Do the math. I'm sure most of us are already subscribed. But if you're one of the few, I'm not going to call you out. But if you're one of the few, make sure you go ahead and subscribe over at Cameron's channel. Button Hawaii PCs. Merry Widow, how are you? Welcome to the show. Is New Jersey, say PA transplant should try to start a Lancaster support group. I just can't get Lancaster. Your lingual struggle? Lancaster. I mean, we're only an hour. I live in, I don't know why, but I live on the Delaware border here in southern Pennsylvania. And I'm fairly familiar with it now. And again, a member of my band is from Lidditz, which is just north, I think, of Lancaster. So it's just the way they pronounce it. Who knows why? We all know the struggles of New England and how they botch words and botch towns and all that. So it's just a regional thing. They pronounce it Lancaster, which is actually very British. If you think about it, there's a Lancaster in Lancashire. There's a Lancashire in Britain. So maybe it's pronounced a la the Brits. But welcome, Merry Widow. Great to have you. Found a postcard that has 3 layers of thin paper, 1909. Really? That's okay, Merry Widow. All comments are welcomed and appreciated. 1905. What's up, Automania? How you doing? Welcome to the show. Happy belated St. Patty's Day to you. Always displaying the shamrocks. They all call followers. Yeah, it's a great. There's your tidbit for the night from Mark. Yeah, I will too. And I know I'm behind everybody. I'm at 8 o'clock and it's 8:08. I'm 8 minutes behind, but we will catch up. See, that depends on what you sell. We could just copy and paste depends on what you sell. It's an answer for almost every question. Yeah, I agree. I like the category thing big time. Michelle only sells postcards. Yep. Get the categories going. It's pretty simple to do. There he is. Ooh, there's a question from Mark. Postcard connoisseur. Yeah, probably not. Laura saying hi to Travis vis-a-vis Baltimania. Awesome. Thanks. No problem. Is it embossed? Just 3 thin pieces of paper. Does each piece of paper have a different image on it? And then when you put the 3 together, it creates one? If the postcard extremely floppy and the paper separating, if so, got it wet at some point. Uh-oh. So it's a decomposing postcard. You capped at 300 store categories, which is a whole bunch, by the way. Oh, Salvation Army. That's an interesting one. Cool. That happens a lot. It happened with print ads a lot, as I would come upon certain things and, certain products consistently. I'm like, oh, I'm going to create a category for that. That's usually how that happens. I wasn't witty enough to think of all these categories prior to listing anything. It's kind of as you're going along, you see a trend, and when it gets to a certain number in your mind, you're like, this warrants having its own category. She is, man. She is. Absolutely. Yeah. Plenty to go around. Let us know if that number goes up. Even by 1, I'll be happy. Again, I think the only unfortunate thing is most people here are probably already, it's not unfortunate, but I'm saying for the benefit of you trying to get to 1,000, most of us are probably already subscribed. There's Gravity Goods. There's Candid Cameron. That's a very, very witty name. And there's Parker's Postcards. But this is the one we want to focus on for this evening because he's so close. 60 away. Come on. If I had more people, I wish I did. We'd try to get you there tonight. eBay stores closed. 0 toys listed. Ticket stubs. I don't have any listed. I have programs from concerts, but I know for a fact, Morris, that people absolutely sell ticket stubs. Ball games too. You could do for sports. You could do for concerts. I guarantee you they'll sell. Especially if you could find a very like a famous show from a specific artist or anything. And I have lots of ticket stubs from shows I've attended over the years too that I kept in scrapbooks. Yeah, that's what I thought, Tracy. That's awesome. Vintage toys. Any toys that I own, that Mark owned, that Popeye owned, that Tracy owns, that a whole bunch of us owned are now definitely vintage. Vintage squared, actually, at this point. If vintage is only 20 years, my God, they're 2 and 3 times vintage at this point. Power line adapters for internet. You could send signals through electrical lines you could plug in. I've heard of that through I've seen that. It's a little black box, I think, that you connect to the back of like a power outlet. Interesting. Yeah, I've heard about the benefits of that. Mark is our resident IT professional. What's up, Craven Cards? Love all 80s and 90s stuff. Do you really? I don't. I hated it. I hated a lot of it. But if it makes us money, it's how you get internet. Really? Is that how exclusively? Oh, you went to mesh Wi-Fi. You love it? Cool. Very cool. Yeah, there's got to be, right? It might not be pronounced exactly, or excuse me, spelled the same way, but there probably is. Almost all of our towns in the Northeast are basically derivative of, in New York's case, it's a lot of it is from Amsterdam, Staten Island being one of them, and of course, England. Everything in New England, it's hence the name New England, right? York, New York, Jersey, New Jersey, and so on. It's got a castle, Blackpool Lights. Yeah, it's another one. Reading, right? It's Reading, not Reading. And if you're playing Monopoly, it's Reading Railroad, not Reading Railroad, because reading is fundamental. Just got rid of all your categories and started over. Did you really? So you could. There's a form of spring cleaning from Lori right there, out in the great Western United States of America. Interesting. What made you consolidate? Just too many? They became overwhelming. Camera print ads. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. But you could have your own proprietary store category for cameras and everything. Powerline Wi-Fi just uses a direct frequency on the wires, but works. So you're not going to get the gigabyte Ethernet. But I'm sure it depends on, again, for me, the distance. We have a top floor is, I'm in the basement. We really have a 4-story home because we have the basement, and then we have the top floor, which is like a loft basically, but it's a huge bedroom that my 2 youngest girls would live in and still hang out there. It's like a guest room now. But we have like a large screen TV up there with the Roku and all. And although the Wi-Fi gets up there, it's a little, it's a little more hit and miss because I guess just due to the distance. So I might look into that Powerline Wi-Fi. Maybe it'll give us a little extra. We'll see. I do prefer hardwired. I just do. I love Wi-Fi. I mean, God bless Wi-Fi, but hardwired is stable. And again, when you have gigabyte, it's fast. Worcester. That's what I'm saying exactly. Lancaster is Worcester. Yes, you would. When in doubt, Worcester. You showed Dawn the postcard. What's the verdict, Dawn, right? Of the Great White North. Okay, that makes sense. Too many categories. All right, that's a good thing. So less is more, hopefully, in Lori's world. You have one of those early cards that's separated into 3 pieces. What's up, Laura? How you doing? Postcards of more Laura? $68 on Worth Point. Dawn, right? Can you send me what Mrs. Flippett sent you? Well, honey, just send me a picture of it on Facebook, and I'll throw it up on the show so everybody can take a look. There you go. Good advice, too. Your shed is way faster. Try to connect Wi-Fi outside the house. Good stuff, man. All right, Mrs. Flippett has sent me the picture. Front and back, I'm assuming. Oh, and there's the foldability. I bet you Popeye is going to tell me that this is that it had water damage. I think I've seen something like this before, and it looked like it's like 3 layers. It looks like water damage, but maybe it's not. I'll show everybody the pictures in a second. All right, let's go with, and no specific, yeah, we'll show you the front. Hopefully it'll take a second, everybody. I have to bring these pictures into whatever this thing is called, StreamYard downloads. All right, everybody, for your review. All right, there's the top of the image. Harrisburg Courthouse. There's the back. And here's her attempt at showing kind of like the 3 layers. She insists there's no water damage because you would see watermarks. It's pristine. The paper is so thin you'd be able to see it easily. What does everybody think? I'd appreciate any. I mean, is this kind of a who cares scenario? Does it mean anything? I don't know. Anybody have any thoughts? I'd appreciate it. So we're still talking Wi-Fi here. Butterfly with flap arrow woman in the middle of the butterfly. Cool. Can everybody kind of give a look at that? Let me know what you think. That's the layers. Kevin is here, postcard guy, just in time. Have you been watching the whole time, Kevin? Great to have you, man. Postcard guy, another one, postcard connoisseur / expert. So I value everybody's opinion, but definitely value. Some printing was done half-assed, so it's just means that the glue. All right, so it's just shoddy workmanship. Do you think it's worth just throwing it in the garbage or what? Kelly agrees. Popeye and Kevin said. Popeye runs into these all the time. Anytime postcard is really floppy, 90% of the time the layers are separated, probably caused by humidity. There you go. So should we chuck it? Great to have you, man. Oh, you've been lurking. Okay, no problem. Thanks for lurking. Thanks for coming out of the dark and saying hi. Appreciate it. All right, thanks everybody for answering that question. I don't know. I'm thinking it might be worth just tossing in the bin, as they say. Unless we just do some truth in advertising and say it's probably a $5 card anyway, so really, who cares? Then Kelly comes through and says, whatever you do, don't chuck it. Put it in a reject box. I don't have a reject box. What do you do with your rejects when they accumulate? Throw them in a lot on eBay? Well, then. Humidity would be the culprit. Jay Smith also concurring. Crummy glue. Shoddy workmanship. I say shred it, honey. Throw it in the shredder. No, we won't shred it. But that's cool. Thank you guys very much for all the input. We're still very new in this postcard thing. There's lots to learn. So now I'll know if I see that again. You have somebody who buys just rejects. Very good, guys. Seriously, just we'll make a reject bin. Sell it on eBay. Had one. Buy 2 boxes for $100. Beautiful. Awesome. Thank you, guys. You personally pitched them, but since I have learned about junk journals, yeah. Yeah, the junk journal thing. Again, what I do with a lot of my excess from magazines. And Mark also saying do not list. All right, we shan't be listing. And Kelly's advice and Mark's advice and Popeye's advice, we will create a separate junk pile, honey. If you want to get that, we have the Chris in the junk pile, the junk box, damaged, ripped. Right, that's a great point. Unless they're gross, right? Any nasty smells, etc., etc. Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that very much. Oh my God. Yeah, we got some. She's showing me some of the interesting cards that we picked up. A do not list box. All right, probably the same scenario. You know, semantics, what you title it. You've sold a separated card. Excuse me, but it was rare. Right? Yeah. If it's like a run of the mill, I like the idea of the reject box or whatever term we want to throw on it. Just hopefully we won't have many rejects, but I guess it's a byproduct of buying lots of, big lots of postcards. You're going to have some duds. So now I know what to do with them. Beautiful. Thank you. We will get started on that immediately, as a matter of fact. We just christened it, as I said earlier. What else? Wow, it's 20 after 8 already. Night is flying by. Thanks, everybody, for hanging in. Hope you're having a good night. Hope you have good plans this week. Hope you get some stuff organized, virtually, physically, everything in between. Lori consolidating all her store categories into a concise list of several. My big thing so far today was I did end my ongoing promotion on eBay, and I created a new one with the hopes of, stirring the pot a little bit, getting a little activity. I will tell you that without question, I mentioned this in the video I did a couple of days ago, my last What Sold video, that having a store on vacation mode for a week definitely has a long-lasting impact. And I think it's a two-pronged thing that happened with me. I'm not crying about it. I'm not dying or anything, but it's slow. I expected it to be slow because I have my store on vacation. But beyond having my store on vacation, I would imagine that going forward, if I have my store on vacation for any period of time, a week or more, for whatever reason, the first thing I should be doing when I turn it back on, if you will, is two things, which is one of which I did was end and sell similar, because I had a bunch of items that were past the 45-day or right at the 45-day mark. And secondly, get a bunch of new listings up, right, to try to get some. Well, part one I did. Part two I have not done. I have still not, grinded the nose, whatever the expression is, the nose to the grindstone. I haven't gone nuts and done a bunch of listings. So I want to do that this week. It's just been a hectic couple of weeks. Things are back to normal. A very busy weekend last weekend, and then I have a show. I have a postcard show to go on Friday. Maybe maybe the postcard show Friday and Saturday, but definitely Friday. I have a Beatles show on Sunday. So this week should be list. You list, you sell. I think that's the only way to bounce back from, a store being basically dormant for a period like that. We said that already. Does eBay listing with the trigger bots? Oh, God, who knows? I don't know what the rules are. Cool. A midget city? That's wild. See, I had mine. I had it marked. I actually got sales while it was on vacation mode too, because I don't know if it's new, but you could keep it active. I just stretched out my my processing time to 10 days or whatever it was, or 9 days. But I do think it's going to turn off some people that want things yesterday. If they see a little banner that comes across now, if you go to buy something from somebody that just put their store on vacation, it'll say, the buyer is out of town until April 1st. Your item will be delayed. That could potentially turn off some people, I guess. Probably not so much in the postcard world or ephemera world in general, but there's other items. You know how people are crazy now and want everything yesterday. What is up, Royal Squirrel? How you doing? Kristen is here. Well, we say here. Last I heard, she was in Florida. Let's see if that's changed. But welcome to the show. Great to have you, Kristen. It's a love fest here. Maybe Kelly, you have numerous 22 midget photos. Just check very, very little views in 4 months. Oh, wow. Really? That's interesting. You think it's just because of the word? You sold over 500 all gone a week. Salud. Good work, Mark. Speaking of bots. Taken down because it said boy in canoe. Said I can't list anything about what they are wearing. That's a really weird one. I don't get that at all. I'm looking at a postcard, everybody. If you're wondering why my head is turned sideways, it's Mrs. Flippett sending me pictures of some of this cool stuff she's coming across while sorting for me. Very strange. Let me tell you about vacation mode. Here we go. Here's a lady who might know a thing or two about vacation mode. Yes, it hurts your sales, but not completely. It's worth keeping it on. Plus, if they want, they'll wait. Absolutely. If they want it, they'll wait. I just know that there's a lot of people that get antsy with certain things. I sold some items on vacation mode too, which was pretty cool. And then of course when you get back home, you have to leave another. I also learned leave another day. Like let's say I planned on being home Sunday, wait till Tuesday, let's say, to turn it on, so you have a day to recover and grab all the stuff that might have sold while you were gone. But I'm sure hurts a little bit just from the lack of activity. Again, another thing, it's an ongoing process and an evolutionary process, if you will. I'm also thinking next time we're gone for a while like that, I'm going to stagger some listings. I know on eBay now they say it's free. You can program listings, schedule listings for future dates. 6-bit, that's been an option. I might do something like that. Like if I'm gone 10 days or whatever, try to have like 100, at least 100 pending, and I could just release 10 a day. So there's some activity in the store as well. But in this instance, we had no listings, obviously, for 8-day period or whatever it was. And it just takes a little while to come back from it. I knew that would happen. And it's not, and now I've been back for 2 weeks already, so I can't even complain about that. It's just I haven't listed enough. That's my problem. I need to get on the listing horse again, big time. Which is part of the reason Miss Flippit is up there sorting through cards as we speak. Absolutely. If you have photos of kids, you can't list anything about what they are wearing. Really? I have to go back to what you originally wrote. Oh, because you have boy. Boy in canoe. Okay. You could set your store to time away, but make sales happen for. Yep, exactly. That's what I did. Yep. Yeah, and I did get sales, but I didn't have any listings going up. And my store, if you will, is used to having pretty much daily listings, a decent amount every day. And for the 8 days or whatever that it was in vacation mode, there was obviously nothing being listed, which could also be remedied, like I said, by scheduling listings out for those days. Before you plan on going away, maybe just try to get a bunch of listings up and stagger them however you want across that time frame that you're going to be out. Real Squirrel, you were in Florida last week. Oh, okay. Back in Colorado. All right. Good to know you're safe and sound. Yeah, that's what I was told to my head. I was looking at a picture. Sorry about that. Sometimes you forget the camera's on. Just sitting here yapping. Yeah, when the dogs do that. It's actually it's a listening thing, though. You forgot what it was? It was about the postcard show, which I already showed everybody. But you know what? Since you brought it up, Mark, never hurts to do it one more time. Coming up this Friday and Saturday, Lancaster, Pennsylvania, as they say in Pennsylvania Dutch world, at the Morlaton or Morlaton, maybe that's another word I'm mispronouncing, not sure, Postcard Club, the 46th annual postcard show. I will be there with bells on, definitely on Friday. And we will definitely do a live remote from the show. Not sure what time. I'm going to kind of just try to get a lay of the land, maybe that first hour or whatever. And then if I see anything really cool, like I said, maybe we'll pull up a stool. We will go through, if they have, we'll go through some boxes and stuff together. I'll just set the camera up. We can kind of go through and discuss. Be a lot of fun. I love doing it I was the only one, as I've mentioned, doing that at York, which was kind of weird. I felt foolish, like talking into a camera. I felt like a fool. But I hope everybody enjoyed it. It was kind of cool to just get a visual, because I know not everybody obviously can make it, depending on where you live. That's funny. More Latin. Okay, more Latin. There we go. Or Latin. All right, Mark, good for you. You have a great evening, and thanks so much for joining. As always, check out Mark if you haven't checked him out. Shame on you, but we'll let it slide. You could remedy that by subscribing to Mark at SM Postcards on the YouTubes. That's right, it's Worcester Layton. Other than eBay, WorthPoint, and Google, is there any sites you guys use in identifying photos of parades? Interesting. More Latin. There you go. Okay. Well, more Latin. More Latin. All right. Well, everybody, more Latin on Friday. We will be doing a live remote at some point between 10 and 6, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. for more Latin out in Lancaster. We're going to be looking for Worcester postcards. What is my Beatles show Sunday? It is at a theater in a town called Harbor, New Jersey. Mars. And then we're doing a really big show, but it's an invite only, so I can't really tell you about it. But it's there's no tickets. It's a personal invite. It's a beautiful place though. It's in another theater called the Scottish Rite in New Jersey. That's going to be a big show in April. Can't wait for that one. April is only 11 days away, 12 days away. That's crazy. But the Beatles show should be picking up now as we finally hit spring. Spring and summer, or even fall, is where we do a whole bunch of shows, especially outdoor, like summer festival kind of stuff. What's up, Vintage Kaja? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Good to see you as well. And that's pretty much the story for me here in Jiminy Flip It headquarters tonight. Got Mrs. Flip It up there sorting through cards. There's several hundred, so I don't suspect she'll get through them all tonight. Although, if you say, I bet you won't finish it tonight, she takes that as a personal challenge and will make sure she finishes it, which she really doesn't have to do. But that, without question, I will definitely be, at a minimum, getting some cards into my scanner tonight, and then maybe tomorrow I'll hit it early with 6-bit and get them up. First big antique flea market coming up in April. Oh, yeah, cool. Very cool. Yeah, the outdoor, for those of us that aren't in a southern location where it's warm most of the year, things are blooming quite literally and figuratively. Flowers are blooming, and outdoor activities are going to start picking up, garage sales and stuff of that ilk, flea markets, outdoor flea markets, estate sale. It's estate sale season for us in my area. I don't know why. March and April are like the prime estate sale times a year. I don't know why. And they're usually packed and usually have really good stuff. So I can't wait to hit the road and do some estate sales. But this weekend, I'm very pumped and very happy to be attending my second postcard show already. And then again, bang, bang, we have the one in Manhattan is April 1st. That's only like less than 2 weeks away. We'll go to that one. And then there's another one. I think Popeye's going to be there too. So we'll probably meet up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, which is like an hour north of me. Good stuff. I'm sorry. I hope everybody read that. Columbia 2023. Columbia where? I'm sorry. Is it South Carolina? Columbia, South Carolina? She's done already. All right. See, I told you. Yeah, we have frozen flowers now, but they'll be all right. Yeah, we have all this stuff blooming, and then it was freezing all of a sudden out of nowhere for 3 days, like Arctic cold. Popeye reserved a room for Allentown. Very good, man. That's a great call. If you're driving it, again, another thing I learned from York, it wasn't that long of a ride. It was a little under 2 hours, I guess. But yeah, for next November when the next York one is, I think I'm going to do the same thing. My wife and I will probably go together. Hopefully we'll hang out with Popeye again. And we'll get a room so we don't have to go back and forth 2 hours each way. It makes some sense. But Allentown, for me, it's really close. It's like an hour away. I don't need a room for that one. But I am very pumped for the Lancaster show coming up on Friday. We will be live. What's up, Swan Picker? How you doing? Welcome aboard. I'm about to sign off very shortly. I'm sorry if maybe you're watching a little while and just checked in. But anyway, great to see you. Please, everybody, if you haven't had a chance to leave a thumbs up, maybe leave a thumbs up on the way out the door. They say it helps the channel. I still don't really know how, but I think it has something to do with YouTube recommending videos out to certain demographics or whatever. So, again, I really appreciate everybody coming on. I will see you on Friday at some point between 10 and 6. Just check out, please make sure you have your notification bell icon if you are subscribed. If you have not subscribed to the channel, perish the thought, but if you're watching and have not subscribed, I would be honored if you would consider subscribing and joining the fun and joining this great group of people we have every week, twice a week, live shows, regular videos, kind of as they are produced out there. That's another one of my goals, spring break goals or whatever, is to get some more material out there for everybody. But otherwise, I will see you Friday for sure from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, postcard extravaganza, sometime between 10 and 6. So everybody have a great week. I'll see you Friday.